Backstage at the Big Valley Jamboree, it's Mike McGuire here with a very special guest. Very happy to welcome Mr. Kevin Costner. Good to meet you, sir. Appreciate you coming down.
Thanks.
This is probably going to be the strangest interview, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, but coming from someone who we didn't hear a whole lot about how you or your bandmates or your crew had been affected from what happened here last year. Until just recently in a video that the director of it actually invited me to be a part of by putting the footage in. But you kind of came in here with a mission. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, sometimes with my name, there's like a lot of people that want to talk. And after everything happened that did last year, I didn't do a lot of talking. I didn't, we all had our own personal memory about what had happened. And we all felt lucky to be alive, and we used the year to think about our own lives, and we were also aware of the people that were injured, and of course Donna. And so the band was dedicated to the idea of if there was a way that they could help, they wanted to, and the idea if the people wanted us to come back and play, that we would. So it was a no-brainer emotionally for us to want to come back. And as far as helping someone, I think there were a lot of people that helped, and a lot of people have taken her circumstance and her life and the people around her into consideration, and done a lot more work than I have. I've just been able to help in the way I could, so we did.
That said, you mentioned your name. I mean, it's kind of awkward to say this to you, but let's face it, you are a global superstar. People around the world know who Kevin Costner is, and you felt it was important still to make Camrose a focal point for all your fans around the world to kind of pay attention to as well.
Well, we wanted to come back here. I often don't know why I do what I do. It became important to me. I thought that we didn't complete our mission here, which was to play, to celebrate, and now we have a chance to really come back and celebrate not only this festival in Camrose, but celebrate our own lives, because there's no guarantees out there, and we were in the middle of it with everyone, and it could have just as easy. Our lives could have all stopped right at that moment, and that's not being over dramatic. I feel like I can say it a year later. Had I jumped on and every microphone and said, "Oh, our lives were in danger," people might have thought that we were maybe over playing it. But it was the truth, and I think when people look at that film, they begin to understand what really had happened to us personally, as well as everybody else. So this is a good circle for us to close.
We're going to show a few clips as we talk now, but as we look at the footage here and the pictures of the stage crashing through your bus, there was one story that really not a lot of people knew about, and I was kind of amazed, and I'm still smiling at this moment thinking that I got to shake the gentleman's hand who you talk about in that film.
Yeah. Well, Mark Botting is, he's a miracle, I think, and he's our biggest, toughest, strongest guy, and yet I found him lying in a pool of blood, and I was almost positive he was going to die in my arms, and I get to play superheroes on screen sometimes, and I found myself at that moment a little bit frozen, to be honest. I didn't exactly know what to do except to hold him, and then eventually as my kind of senses came back to me, I took my shirt off and put it against his head, and I thought I was losing him right in front of my eyes, and there was this noise and this wind, and it was only just him and I at that moment. The whole world was gone. It was just me and Mark in my own world, and I was able to call on the radio, kind of direct people to where we're at, and we went to the hospital where there was a lot suffering, and a lot of people rallied around everything. I should say, I got into a thing with a law officer, to be honest, and haven't ever talked about that. And there was a very heated exchange between him and I, and he was doing his job, and I was trying to help my friend, and I'd like to reach out and say thank you to him for not putting me in jail. I'm sure his, emotions were running very high as mine were, and I was trying to get to my friend and his things, and he didn't want me to go back under to protect me, and so I respect him, but I know I made his job at that particular moment maybe even a little harder, because I I wasn't going to let go of the things that were my friends. He didn't want me to go back under the rubble, and I said I've already been under there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I apologized to him because, but, you know, he had a job to do. He kept his wits about him, and that's the best I could do is apologize, and I hope that he's well.
You say in the piece that you put together that tonight is going to be a celebration of music and a celebration of Donna and for all the victims who were injured and harmed at this event. That said, how much of this has been carried with you as a person throughout this year? Like, how many times do you think about this, do you think?
I've stopped a lot of times. I have 3 babies in diapers, and I thought it's possible I wouldn't have come home to them. My wife was, my life is very good, and no one won't say that I've had a pretty blessed life. I recognize it. Mm-hmm. But it could have stopped that day, and I was able to walk between the raindrops of danger, and I was lucky.
I know you have a lot of people to get to. I want to thank you so much for this time, Kevin. And I just have to say, as a kid growing up, watching you through films, you were always the epitome of cool. You still are. I mean, I can't believe Kevin Costner is sitting next to me right now. But from that day on until now, you just became a real-life human being to me. And you were just as scared as the rest of us were that day. And at the same time, you stepped up, and you've offered your time and services through charity, and you're back here playing tonight. So I think on behalf of everybody who was there last year and is here tonight, we're looking forward to seeing you out there. And again, like you say, it's going to be a celebration tonight. Very quickly, tell us a little bit about Kevin Costner, Modern West, and what kind of fun we're going to have tonight.
Well, we've thought a lot about our set list tonight. We're not that well known, so sometimes we're thinking, well, maybe we shouldn't play that because basically everything we have, people haven't heard. So, so as we try to be inventive with our set list, it's usually just us.
Yeah.
Trying not to bore ourselves, but we want to try to keep the spirit alive. It's a party out there. We don't want to stop it. Everybody has a collective memory that was there about what happened, and it was so vivid in a lot of the pictures that you put forth and other people did that other people can imagine what it might have been like. And so, we all are a part of that moment who was there. We have a collective and a tied history together now. And so I think what we want to do is we want to go out there and make sure that we don't stop this party.
I don't think you're going to. Kevin Costner, again, it's an absolute pleasure. I keep shaking your hand here. I just, got to accept the fact that you're actually here, so that's why that's happening. But again, thank you. Have fun out there tonight. Go complete your mission. Play in front of those thousands of people, and we're all looking forward to it.
Good. Where are you going to be out there? Are you going to be on stage?
I'm going to be, actually, we're going to come out and shoot for the front a little bit, and then I'll be wherever Kevin Costner tells me to be. I'll put it that way.
No, I want to figure out if it's sounding right out there. We'll see in that red shirt.
Perfect. Thank you so much.